all of these maps for all of these teams.
If you're a Furia fan, you know, touch the screen, give them your energy. They need a good result here. Push it to 3 maps, and they're gonna go kick things off on the pistol, which is a fast apartments play. I think all of the steps will be heard though, so it's gonna come down to just hitting some of these shots defensively as far as Mousesports are concerned.
This is a really good start here from Furia. It's a 5-on-5 potential retake on the A-bomb site. Honda gets the first. If you have a bit of a brawl, as I say that, the bomb hasn't gone down yet, and there's still a lot of trades happening. 4-on-3 now in the favor of Mousesports. No nades yet, though, so we want to pay attention to crossfire setups. But positioning it from Furia is not great. It's going to require some nice individual performances, and we're seeing that as well from Furia. We'll end up getting that pistol win there. Yeah, it was weird. I think positioning there, you know, Furia hitting the bomb site, but then Mousesports really just everywhere. Short apps, long at the same time, but no nades to really do a well-timed retake. Good start from Furia. That's what we like to see. If Dan, if you're right there, if you lost 6 pistols, you know, I think they're happy with this one.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened on Nuke in terms of pistols, but yeah, that previous series against Cloud9, they lost every pistol. But here we go, you know, they get the automatic 10s out, it's even an MP7, and that's going to be quite handy in a round like this. They're up against the pistols. You know, we were talking about earlier in the last series how dangerous these CT rounds can be. Sometimes the most fearful rounds for you is on the T side, is to deal with these kinds of rounds, and it's 45 early on. Vinny's going to spot one more towards Porsche, so trying to get that info as to like where does Mousesports want to really put the hammer down. Well, there's the okay, hammer's coming down right now. Oh my god,
stereo frags top mid from Mousesports.
Oh,
suddenly
no.
Very ill-equipped. Sometimes you get one digs, man. You can't even really, what can you say? He's got the MP5 out. He's got 3 more dudes to deal with. Now, this is not out of the realm of possibility with a minute on the clock. Give himself some space and get an upgrade. Going fishing with the AK. He has the bomb. So much guesswork, though. Mousesports can just play the numbers game. 37 seconds left. And that is a pain in the backside.
Yeah, I mean, you might even be talking about, you know, saving the AK here. You have an armor, AK, smoke, flash. These rounds are still very winnable. We even see it on the minimap as well. Mousesports opting for that B stack, I guess. It's just really Acor here, but he's in a fantastic position. Art with not a lot of time either. Doesn't have time to clear this. We'll see if he makes the right call. And he does. Oh, he actually ends up whiffing the smoke, but it's a good plant. Gets covered. Gets the bomb. That's a bonus at least. You know, we gotta think about the positives here. I don't think he would have ended up winning that round had he placed the smoke anyway. I think it was more so getting the bomb down a little bit safer. But yeah, these deagles, man, the pesky deagles. You know, you get the 1 deag and all of a sudden the round just flips on its side.
Yeah, Mousesports is a nasty team for stuff like this. They're definitely very capable of really causing problems. I mean, just the amount of skill on this team is really insane. The ceiling is nuts. And we see it in a round like this, and it's very disruptive. But as you say, you know, Furia did get the bomb down. That's actually a really big difference because they need to fight against this, and so they have at least some extra monies to get that utility as well as some weapons. And the question is though, is that Mousesports are going to expect something, and what's most predictable is something fast from Furia.
Yeah,
so
they're absolutely obviously expecting to for at least a rebuy here with the plant. See an old CIS tendency from Furia, dropping some AKs instead of having strong weapons across the board. It was Art that ended up dropping him, leaving him with just a deagle, no armor. And a nice early entry here from Mousesports. Really not what you wanted to see if you're Furia on a low buy like this. Kind of want to try and stay together a little bit. At least gets a potential of a trade.
Eats the second one. Chain flashbangs often good. Standard in Pro CS. Acor going back to Royal once again. Vinny's up as well. Spotlight and Boiler. He'll take the 1v1s all day. Look at the confidence of the man. It's great that he's been given the space to do this. He did tell us that he can do whatever he wants, basically, and he is making good use of that. That's a nasty burst from ropz. 1080p, baby.
Yuri was expecting it too. It was almost going to be a super nice round for Yuri. ropz very crispy. And Art was tagged from before. Very smart here. He's throwing away some weapons. See that Venus has a Mac 10, so he might have wanted to try and find the AK or the AWP there, but it's not going to happen. Oh, he found an AK there at least. Obviously, there's a lot of fighting going on in mid at the same time, so well, Art did the best job possible. He threw away the op though, but not sure if that was an intent for Mousesports anyway to be running a double op setup.
Yeah, and it's a really scary prospect. You know, Acor can really do a lot with his AWP. He can run around a lot. This might not be the round to do it because taking a risk with the AWP to do a forward play, you can do it, sure, you know, if you're really confident, but the return is not the return versus the risk is not nearly as great as if you're playing a full buy round. That said, he's gonna get a pick top mid. I think there was a boost. Was there a boost for him to get that? I'm not sure if there was or not, but either way, someone's dead at top mid.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This is looking like a very dominant Mousesports round, though. Only really a Deagle on Case Rado. Glocks here on the other remaining 3 Furia members. And much needed round here, I'd say, for Mousesports in terms of their economy. We're looking to them to not lose a lot of members here. And this is always the worrisome part when we talk about Inferno, the CT sides. Like, how do we get these 11-4 sides or even 10-5s? Obviously comes in the brunt of good economy and always having full utility, even if you lose the one round. Makes it very difficult for T's.
Yeah, and I love the just trying to find, as I say on the CT side, trying to find an opportunity to get a pick before the T's have done anything, before they've, you know, when they're mid default or early in their default or whatever it is. You can see that Mousesports are trying to be very active. And that's one of the great things about that, especially if you have early economy control, is that you kind of condition Furia at that point to play a little bit slower, or they have to commit to playing a much like faster gamble style of play. But in doing so, they'll give up map control, and it's just very gambly. So I think most teams will take the safer option and play slower to make sure that they can punish early aggressions, which are risky, and they become even riskier if you know the opponent's expecting it. So you know they're conditioning Furia with those plays as well.
Big guns are out once more, save for the AWP. We fight an AWSM at Accuracy International in an undisclosed location.
I have done that as well. It is
really
insane.
Yeah, it's more the feeling
Yeah.
of like the sounds going through your body than the sound of the sound, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. When we got the new AWP
percussion.
sound in game, I think people were talking about it, and I think it sounds a little bit more realistic now for sure.
Yeah.
It is
Acor.
definitely a very powerful gun in real life.
Yeah, and Acor keeps delivering with it. Still alive around this B bomb site. The bomb's in CT spawn. The bomb's been lost. The waypoints are broken, but Mousesports have been deleted through and around the smokes as well. Team is 1 versus 4. There are plenty of people who are low, but Vinny's got the angle, and Furia have a second round.
I think we saw this from Furia as well. I think that's when we had Fnatic on. We talked a little bit about them. To me, at least, we've seen a few teams kind of, do these plays of going into CT spawn. I'd make the argument that Fnatic was one of the first. This is a long time ago now. Always been trying to really stretch the boundaries a little bit of the maps. Fnatic, I feel like, trying to try something new and some unique play. Definitely one of the things that got a little bit popular. Furia has been coming back and using it a little bit more. We've seen that on their T side on Inferno. It's a buy round for Mousesports, but somewhat of a slow default from Furia. Looking like they're going to want to take some mid control here. And, oh man, they get caught off guard here a little bit. Acor with a nice trade, though. Makes it a 4v versus 4. But he's also low at this in the process. Carrying though does a nice job in ensuring the banana control still. Only leaving Yuri now in a 1-on-3 situation. Can probably maybe grab the bomb, but difficult position to be in.
Yeah, and just what a great response from Mousesports. First, you know, you see ropz and acor looking to try to create something, maybe a moment around the timing around the smoke, dissipating top mid, and then as they fall back, obviously ropz gets caught out. They get that risk, doesn't pay off, but acor at least, as you say, trades. And at the exact same moment, there's a pop flash info play down banana, so that when that top mid take's coming in, there is a full picture of what does it actually mean. And given that only one player was spotted on banana and Cadian gets that kill, they know that's like the lurk player, so they know everything at that point. So it just seems like just seems like Mousesports have great timings and they have a very good understanding of exactly how to win the information game.
Yeah, great comms in the process, right? You wouldn't be making these plays if you don't have at least some sort of comms. I was gonna say, I don't think they're expecting Art to be already by the car. He finds one duel, but it's not gonna give him any success. 2 HP left, and BMUS gets Honda down in apartments. And then it's another entry going the way of Mousesports.
Did you see the response from Cadian as well? He's like, oh, you want to fight on B? Let's go. Just go for the wide swing.
Yeah, I like it as well, because obviously the bait there is there with the 3-man setup on the B-bomb side.
I think the general instruction is to just fight them as much as possible. You can see ropz has an off angle on the balconies. If anybody jumps up, they won't see him and he can start shooting. Starts engaging one player, falls down, and decides to fight another one in mid. The round may not go their way. We'll see. There is a flank on the way from the bottom of mid via Cadian. But I love the general instruction. You can't allow FURIA to just do what they want to. You've got to fight them. Otherwise, you'll get run over. Surely a free kill for Cadian. Instant trade, though, from CeRq. Mousesports have some information, but where is Vinny? Is he in the same place? Is he on the site? This may not be known just yet. We can see Frozen showing some presence now. CeRq will deal with him.
That's missed time there, unfortunately, for Mousesports. acor had the flash loaded, was just waiting for the call from Frozen, but Frozen peaks before the flash lands, which is why Frozen goes down. You see the pop flash happen right after.
acor 14 for 3 will preserve the KD. At that point, the round was over, in fairness. But I think that round, even though Mousesports lost, it was very telling, the approach they're taking with FURIA in general.
It's pretty interesting too, because Mousesports had, you know, the 3 on B, as we noted, and an aggressive apartments setup. So it's like a setup that's specifically designed to punish the default at the early timings. You know, you can isolate one of the 2 apartments players on the T side who's defaulting. They got the guy that came in through the T side apps and who had yet to kind of combine forces with the guy jumping in the window from second mid. So they pick off that player, and at the same time, they don't need a third player there because they've got forward information. So they can keep 3 on B if there is something going on B. It also allows them that B retake. So they have a lot of answers for a lot of things, as well as being proactive and taking the initiative. So it's a very cool opening. And although they end up losing the round, it really feels like the strategic approach was better.
Stuck now in the ruins. Although you never know if he's able to hide in plain sight here for a while. Perhaps ropz could make this winnable. acor does have a kit, and ropz is on the way. But Yuri is smartly, look at that spatial awareness. He has no idea where ropz is, so he will give himself some cover. And here comes ropz with a Desert Eagle. So perhaps this won't be what we thought it might. There goes acor being deleted now. Still a question about ropz. He knows his angles. But so do FURIA.
Yeah, I mean, this is really where practice comes in. Is small notice was there, but to your point, he was stuck in the corner. He obviously had the smoke in spools kind of covering him. Vinny was covering him from CT spawn as well, so it was a very good after plan position here from Yuri. Obviously, when the smoke kind of lands, that blocks the vision from Vinny, but full smoke being faded gives Yuri a lot of one-on-one duels here. And yeah, that was a cocky play for FURIA, I'd say. You know, really putting it to the test there, knowing as well. Obviously, we see it firsthand. FURIA doesn't have that information, but Mousesports now with a lot of utility. So walking into banana dry works out for him anyway, but could have been dangerous.
Little boost here. Or, well, so that'll be dealt with pretty easily. So that's the round over. That's how we like it, nice and quick.
Yeah, it was a full
So-
save from Mousesports.
Furia really coming back in really strong. It didn't look like it was going to happen like this so quickly. It did feel like Mousesports was doing a lot of really good moves and they were looking very confident, which is really just a testament to also just how good Furia is, of course.
Yeah, and they got 70 rounds versus VP on the T side. Only 4 versus C9, so have had a better performance here at least than versus C9. We can see if they can match the results they had versus VP, but this is really what we are expecting from Furia. If we talk about their win conditions, we are looking for a pretty dominant T side, or at least with a T-sided win. Kerrigan with 2.2k. We'll see here what the buy is looking like. I was going to say, I don't know if they're going to be able to afford AWP. ropz he dropped an M4, I guess, or has he just forgotten the weapon in spawn?
No, he's about his life.
Oh, it was about. Okay, never mind.
Okay. Everything's
The
fine.
Zeus takes precedence over the M4 in terms of priority order in the UI. That's a first.
Yep. It's about as strong as current state of CSGO. Nice headshot onto Vinny, and Yuri gets dropped as well by the M4 rather than the Zeus and burst towards range. And Honda is left with 15 HP, but not for long. That was a very quick round, and that was a buy round.
I was gonna say that looked like an eco based on how fast that was, but there was no trades done. Furia, Mousesports again with a really nice timing. First round we've seen that from them. You tend to talk about, you know, the risk that you want to, the risk assessment in the terms of the buys that you have. Normally you tend to do a little bit more aggressive plays when the money is in on your side. You don't tend to see rounds like that when you know that you could be potentially put on another eco. But I do like that from Mousesports.
Yeah, just willing to fight top mids. And, you know, that wasn't, I mean, that was a top mid take that was coming in kind of, I mean, it wasn't 4 players. You know, it wasn't the typical, like, we've got banana control, we've got like a guy holding banana. Now we've got our 2 apps players who will be joined by the 2 players in mid, and we've got that 4-player push. I think it was just like 2 or 3 players. So Mousesports definitely much more ready for that kind of engagement, and they definitely want that engagement. I think it goes to your point. I forget which one of you mentioned it, but just the whole let's fight, let's just fight Furia all the time type of thing. And speaking of this wide swing top mid against AK-47s, I guess that just further proves the point.
I mean, that's so insane as well. You can make the argument there of like, why doesn't that guy die?
Yeah,
Where did the bullets go? Oh, again, we see here constant abuse here on the B-bomb side as well. Frozen and Kerrigan. And they kind of allow themselves to be put in these positions because we've seen as well, Mousesports hasn't really fought for banana a lot. They've just been going for the information plays, waiting for Furia to make a noise. You know, we'll react to that. And that was to James' point. You kind of put the fight against them instead of just standing there. So reactive plays, mid-round aggressions.
This is a wild game of Inferno. It is completely wild. It must be stressful to play. I don't know if it'll be more fun or stressful to play such an aggressive game. God, there's such sharp aimers on the server as well. Doesn't spot ropz by graveyard. Moves into the long position. We can see Kerrigan pushing a smoke top banana where he might meet the bomb alone with Honda, who just started to move his mouse away. And that gives Kerrigan the drop on the bomb. Art flying toward ropz's position. Maybe he did see him after all, but to no avail. The round goes the way of Mousesports. What is going on?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Mousesports just doing this very good. I mean, obviously, again, if you end up getting a kill on Kerrigan here, it's going to be very beneficial for the T's, but I feel like Kerrigan's success has just been very good here, even in terms of timing of the approach that they want to take, of taking banana control back. And he just gets the payoff again and again. Good series so far from Kerrigan.
Yeah, and it
Another
must be so
timeout.
hard for Furia to feel. I mean, really for any team to feel comfortable to play to like really settle into their game, because you're constantly being disrupted. You can't. Like Mousesports are not really allowing Furia to default with these aggressions. You know, they're just saying you have to fight us now, and that just changes the round. So it's like they're trying to provoke these like mid-round scenarios where you're in these 4v4s and so on. Like they're, as the CT side, are trying to provoke that as much as they can.
Not too much utility on Banana to start. And Art wants to be up to his usual trick. There'll be a big flash though. Beamer's very fast to dispatch of Art down mid. Seems to know what's coming. Again, with the lack of challenge on Banana. Again, the aggression from Mousesports. Furia can't do much about it. The peak before the smoke pops. Thank you and goodbye. Good night. Adios, amigo.
I think if we look here, the last few rounds, Mousesports, I feel like, have found the solution here to Furia. Been trying to take mid aggression or mid spacing, but they're not taking app control, which is, I feel like, a big mistake from Furia. Really allows Mousesports to be standing so aggressive in mid the way that we see them. Obviously, they tend to kind of back up a little bit more if they hear the jump up on boiler, or even if they expect someone to be in there.
Could still be something in this if Vinny can hit a really insane shot, but that's denied by Carrigan. He gets the bomb as well. And that pop flash play top mid, that had to be a call from Carrigan, because Carrigan had the information as to, like, as the first point of contact on, but like being a Banana player, he has the first information as to when he thinks that rotation will come away from this position, which we're seeing on the replay right now, and then when it's going to come top mid. You can see that the top mid flash was just like perfectly timed, because it just caught. Because I mean, at this point, when that smoke refreshes, the T's have to either challenge it or they have to start walking to top mid, and so Carrigan can time that perfectly with the info that he has.
Yeah, at least you know that they're done in ramp and stuff like that, so you're at least expecting some T players to be situated somewhere around mid. Just pistol series from Furia. 7-5. It was looking good. Mousesports getting their economy in order. And Carrigan's already down Banana here again. It's 5 versus 5. I mean, this is so risky.
Oh, beautiful. They smoked off the bomb as well. Again, they're setting the pace on the CT side, it feels like. And against a team like Furia, what a way to respond. You can't be meek, you can't wilt. You must be strong. They refuse to be bullied. Someone's going to be the bully. Seems it will be them. Hudson now on a 1 versus 2. Still has a bomb to rescue, though. Carrigan is everywhere. From bottom of Banana to long. What freedom he has. He's trying to catch up with Acor. He's on 15 kills at the moment.
Yeah, and this is where we talk about, you know, being ahead in terms of the mental game of, you know, reading.
Acor certainly has been in a short time he's been with Mousesports, which has been a joy to watch. Currently 15 for 8, although Carrigan's trying to catch up with him. Maybe they've got a bet on. He's 14 for 7. Frozen hasn't had much to do in the comparison. Definitely limelight being stolen by the IGL late on in the first half, but we'll see how the end of the first half looks, because it could still be close to half time if Furia can get something going here. They've been caught by surprise on many an occasion from Mousesports, so they may look to do something unorthodox here. Although what isn't unorthodox about Furia?
Well, look at what we're talking about, right? Even from Furia's approach here, we see them sticking then 4 members down in Banana, but then also same for Mousesports, expecting kind of maybe Furia to take Banana a little bit faster. So they started with 3 towards B. And they do have at least mid control here now, and as I talked about, what we were looking for here is at least not to have a man disadvantage. It's a fast execute actually from Furia here. Hitting the bombs that completely flashed. Case Auto runs into Carrigan and CG spawn, and we see the same tendency again from Furia here. We're trying to wrap. It's not going to work out for him. 3 versus 2 now. Carrigan is still alive.
They still have to plant the bomb too. Carrigan's being very aggressive, and Honda's going to absolutely delete every single player. Great performance from him. He's been really good, actually, when he has his moments. Also with an AWP, Honda's been pretty devastating. So, but yeah, really aggressive peaks going on there. It really seems like that's Mousesports' philosophy here against Furia in general. They just, if they can take a fight, they're just going to take it.
They needed that.
Oh,
Talking about it being.
see ya
Oh, there we
later.
go. We're talking about it's going to be a very difficult 2 rounds here from Furia if they want to try and get away with both. That wasn't looking like a round that they were set to win. But I do like to change their pace here though for Furia. They have just been dying entries there, trying to get a grasp of mid. It's the fact that they opt for a little bit of a B presence instead works out for them.
You know, I saw. I think when Apex was playing a match and we could see he had some frustration. I think he got some comments saying, "Oh man, you got to learn to control that," and something like. I don't think anyone who plays competitive, has played competitive games, would ever say something like that to someone, because that isn't really what reality is. There's nothing necessarily wrong with showing frustration like that. If you have demands of yourself, it's good to want more sometimes. Not necessarily a bad thing to have a release of energy, as long as you perform afterwards. CeRq creating space for Yuri, but not getting the result that they wanted. Oh man, there's just a flurry of kills on both sides, and there's 104 HP for the remaining 2 players of Furia, mostly with Art. And of course, we've got to put down bottom mid, because why not? Full control, my friend, says Carrigan. Creates some space for himself. CeRq not expecting that peak, and that's great momentum for...
We're back. Second half, map 2 between Mousesports and Furia was looking pretty competitive there. We had an even game, and then Mousesports got the hang of it at the end, 9-6. Furia still in this game though. 2 sets of utility on the hands of Mousesports, and all 5 members towards this banana area. So we'll see if it's gonna be a fast one. It's looking very likely like it is. They're hitting the bomb site now. Art with a nice little entry though. Full on brawl.
Bemis in that headshot position. In some buy rounds, we're starting to see CT's molly the pool area to stop having to take those fights, giving the T side so many angles. Bemis now 1 versus 3, none versus 3 because he's dead. Furia with a much needed pistol round. A 3k from Vinny on the B bomb site will certainly help. Maybe a relief. Go on.
I was gonna say that's both pistol rounds now for Furia. We know obviously they lost the eco last half, but I think Dan might have anti-jinxed them there when he talked about them not winning pistol rounds yesterday. So that's at least a start, you know. Now, obviously, what we're looking for here is anti-eco round win as well. Mousesports full buy except for Acor. So looking pretty likely here that we will be seeing an AWP on him the first weapon round.
Yeah, Carrigan tried to push to top car and had to run through a Molotov, so it didn't go too well for him. Separated from his teammates. We know, by the way, that he loves to run down banana. He was the one that innovated that like half wall smoke at the beginning of the round, so that you can beat the timings of the CTs and so on and so forth. So no stranger to dying on banana early if that's what it takes. But that's actually something that's been really fun about this team, is watching Carrigan, how much he wants to go in first. Oh, that's a nice shot.
I feel like he's also developed the way he's done it. And I think that's very impressive, because obviously you can make the argument that he's not 18 anymore. So reinventing yourself is a little bit difficult. Sure, we're not saying that he's a primary op or anything like that, but I do think that he's, even the entry style that he has changed a little bit.
Yeah, he's effective against the top competition, and there was a huge criticism when back in the old Faze days that he just couldn't cut it. And look at him.
Yeah, he's dropping bombs. I think that's also why you see the rumor, right? We don't know if it's true or not, but you know, there has been rumors circulating about, you know, Carrigan potentially going back to Faze. I think this Mousesports lineup is really exciting though. I think, you know, with the addition of Acor here, I mean, I think, you know, I think they have some really cool pieces. Bemis didn't really work out in Faze, right? We saw that, but maybe it was a mismatch of playing styles and stuff. I think that he's really found his way in this team.
Yeah,
that would be a huge loss if they were to no longer have Carrigan, because he's definitely a captain figure. Has a lot of personality in a room full of nerds. Not that
in terms of
go on.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say in terms of also.
Oh no!
Nuke.
Oh my days!
Oh, it's an eco though, so It will pat the stats a little bit, which is nice. That's the one thing normally I do tend to ask. I forgot about it, but I would have loved to see Mousesports utility damage on that CT side. But we can see it now, DJ, if that's okay. See if Furia's going to have a bit more UD now from that last round, but...
I was just going to say, Cadian has had more success building lineups to the absolute top level than anybody else, and he's done it with so many different types of teams and international teams. He's got to have some of the highest stock value of any player in Counter-Strike because of that record that he has.
Oh boy, that was a collateral.
Oh, he
that's
hits him.
15 HP.
Hits all three, essentially.
Yeah. Art's still alive though, so that's important for Furia. And they got pop flashes of their own top mid, just as Mousesports did. But ropz may have superior position. Yuri will be taken out for free by ropz, who actually has the entire bomb site. Now he smoked along, especially while making its way through the apartments. We can see that Case Ratto's lurking top mid, but I don't know if he's going to find much of a position. Frozen is around the boiler area, so this is going to get really weird real fast. There are still 2 smokes for these Mousesports players on the likes of Frozen and Acor. Going to be hard for Frozen to use his one for the time being, however. There's that re-smoke of long. Frozen's patient in boiler.
Yeah, and just the fact that Beam is still here down in Banana. Just great positioning here. See the save call coming in right off the bat from Furia. Makes total sense. Sure, you make the argument if all 3 members have 100% HP, but both Art and Vinny are low, 15 and 20 HP to their names.
What's kind of cool is that, like, Robin, you were saying that because we saw this, like James pointed out, this cool top mid flash. That's kind of a response to the CT's controlling Banana and knowing that there's that timing that the CTs will be walking up mid. And of course, Mousesports fall about to that. But one of the adjustments that you said that you wanted to see Furia make was to have somebody in apartments at some point, and ropz was there for Mousesports, so that Mousesports actually had that adjustment that Furia didn't, and it allowed them to kind of get in. He got into position. That's kind of like why you highlighted that, because that's like the downside of playing so actively top mid there.
Yeah, that's why like I think it was VP that was kind of known for like the defensive plays on the T side here, like really only standing like very defensive here, waiting for the CTs to do whatever they want for a minute and then kind of make their move. Because like you're saying, James, like even if they take Banana here, you have apps and stuff like that, there's very little the CTs can do if you just hold positions and you just waste a bunch of nades just expecting a potential push. That's why we've just been obviously every single time just very difficult to play against. So kind of what we see here, obviously Furia taking Banana control, and we look at their utility. They had a good buy coming into this, but there's not a lot left. So I think this was actually needed for Furia of getting an entry here at least, make it a 5-on-4, because had it gone now to a point where all the smokes are fading and we look at the utility compared to both of the teams, 5-on-5 situation, trying to hold a bomb site with, you know, 1 smoke or 1 flashbang is not going to be pretty. Oh, there's a little bit of a peak fight there. Art spots at least Acor, which forces the rotation over from Vinny, and Furia looking to fight. I like this from Furia as well. They don't have any nades left, so they can't really back up their bomb site. They're essentially forced to fight here, even though if maybe they didn't want to, but no other option.
Oh God!
Again, what a nice little flick there.
They're piping hot. Did Yuri see ropz? Ropz certainly saw Yuri, and he somehow managed to slip away. But just as he comes back, he gets blasted by a burst from ropz. 10 ATP burst, baby.
It's so annoying to get caught by lurks like this. It's so annoying. Because Furia, like, they're probably thinking, man, we're in a really bad position, but at least we can, like, maybe have a fight here. Maybe, like, have a crazy performance and then maybe still win the round. But then it's like that happens and it's like 0% chance to win the round suddenly. Yeah, ropz is quite a nasty lurker. He does find very good timings.
Yeah, and they work off even better, obviously, when Mousesports do have the success on killing a guy on Banana, forces the rotates. And even there, and we saw as well, I mean, they didn't even end up with planning on the B bomb site, which is, you'll see that in the later stages of this game of Furia now not being able to rotate just from that one round alone. You're not even going to be able to go in mini pit anymore. You're going to be forced to be, you know, placed on site or in big pit and apps. something to keep in mind. We're not going to be seeing these a little bit more gamble sacks and stuff like that, just because we saw the shenanigans from Mousesports. Another tactical timeout coming out. I didn't really see the money before that, but I think obviously for Furia, already pretty in dire shape heading into that last round. So might be looking into double eco here, which is probably a half buy now. But we'll see what they ended up going for. This is part of the previous round we talked about. Really where we kind of force as soon as they get the second kill there on Vinny, we kind of see, we don't see it in the replay, but as soon as that happens, obviously for all the 3 remaining Furia members alive, it's just a quick rotate over there at that, and that's when we saw the ropz lurk up in mid. I said there was going to be a potential half buy, but it's a full buy. They actually managed to scrape together a pretty decent buy. There's a lot of SMGs.
Almost made it through the smoke, but not quite. Wonder will lament hitting the door frame. It was a nice micro adjustment from Acor on that sandbags player in the previous round at top banana. Just started strafing to try and dodge the shot to no avail. Oh, he's ready out. Doesn't look away too fast, but ropz will be able to trade. An important trade considering the position of the bomb. Not sure how much Vinny can do, but Yuri is giving some breathing room, running distraction, moving away from apartments. And of course, CSGO will peek from the other side. How did he not kill the first time round? Things changing dramatically. Vinny still with possession of banana, but CSGO will post up towards B as well, it seems. Maybe reading that he'll eventually be in trouble here with the MP9.
Yeah,
Heading
very
towards
quiet on
30
banana.
seconds left. Yeah.
Say we should be seeing frozen maybe. He does have a lot of utility there, but nice done by Vinny. 30 seconds left. Drops the smoke, obviously forcing Mousesports to just really be hitting that A bomb side. ropz goes down. Sure, there's still a possibility here for Frozen. He gets the first kill onto Vinny here, gets the bomb down and puts it in a 1-on-2, but Vinny playing this very smart. All he has to do is stay alive. He has to plant the bomb, and there's 4 seconds, and obviously, he will just have time for it, though. 21 HP left, though.
There's no way. There's no way Frozen does this. The slimmest of margins every single time, and he has a chance. They have a flashbang left, though. He will escape to banana, so somewhat predictable after plant position.
Has he got?
Yeah, but they smoked it, so they might be in spools and all of that. So I think that's super winnable. Had he had less or more HP,
yeah,
would have afforded himself on the one tag on CSGO, maybe gotten the trade there. Just the fact that he gets the bomb alone, though, is impressive enough.
Yeah,
score's pretty close now.
Indeed, it is, and it was a very important round for Furia. Sure, losing Vinny, only keeping 2 members alive, but keeps them in the game at least, and make the argument here as well. Sure, Mousesports money is good, but just getting the bomb plan as well, then we see this kind of buy coming in, and it's disgusting.
I feel like, to me at least, it's like one of those games where I feel like one team's like really owning, but which is Mousesports. They're doing a lot of great stuff. But Furia is looking like they're just struggling, or always trying to find answers. But they're only 1 round behind, so they're doing a great job here. Well, Frozen able to get ahead of these nades up top mid. This could be huge here. CSGO dodging out of the boiler position. He's going to get sandwiched. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. And now there's a lot of problems because there's loads of time left, and the positioning here for Mousesports is really, really great. They don't have top banana control yet, so they aren't in the best of spots, but 4v4 with well over a minute is a happy place to be for them.
Yeah, and that was a gamble stack as well from Furia, leaving banana completely empty, but now they do it the opposite, rotating over 3 towards B instead, only leaving Yuri by his lonesome. And I mentioned it to remember, he's in pit now instead. Oh, obviously with the rotates and that timing, they have no idea that Mousesports just walked their way into B.
Surely that must have been ropz on Carrigan's POV being like, to your right, 1080p.
16 by 9. more and more players are doing it, I feel like. At
Finally.
least you hear more and more players maybe trying it out. It's a good spot to be in though if you're Yuri. The fact that Mousesports actually ends up rotating back. Now they spot him. That's very unfortunate. That's what I mean with the whole thing with Furia. Yeah, I mean, we look at it because look at how much time there was left. There was a good amount of time left. Mousesports have not wasted a lot of nades. They have so much utility here to clear off all the hard angles. And just a very, very solid round here again from Mousesports. Furia, I like their approach as well. Obviously, it's not going to work out for them, but they do go with an early A stack when they lose the man advantage, leaving no one at B. Obviously, again, it being very quiet, they do end up rotating 3 guys over, but at that point, not very aware that Mousesports could already be very, very close to the bomb site. Heck, they were even hitting the bomb site as Art was speaking the first time around. And not the best rounds to lose if you're Furia. We talked about one of the last rounds with just 2 members alive. They are now screwed for cash once more.
The thing with the resolution, right, is that people would have to change all of their lineups. So, like, relearn all lineups. Is that, like, one of the reasons why people just don't switch?
No, it's just different. Like, even when I was trying to swap, like, I'm a 4-3 player, 1024, and I've always felt it's the mindset, right? Like, I feel like the spray is slower when you have higher rest, but it's just, you know, old school and, like, the models are different. I actually don't think it's yeah, it's a feel, if anything. I don't think it's anything to do with, like, nade setups. I literally think it's just the
if you're doing, like... I think crosshair aiming is fine, but like if you're using a model, then it's a different story. Like a top connector from Top Middle Mirage or something, you generally use the grenade as a lineup. Oh, there's a violent exchange on Banana. Bear in mind there are 2 primary weapons at this point for Furia. Arts with the AWP and Yuri with the MP9.
Yeah, another gamble though here from Furia. So they have made the right call here. 4 players here, all looking to defend this bomb site. I wonder if it's too little too late though. Mousesports hitting this now. No, Yuri goes down, picking up this nade, leaving only CeRq now in a 1-on-2 situation. Picks up an AK though, so it's still very much doable, especially getting that kill. Nicely done from CeRq.
So needed as well.
Absolutely.
Again, keeps just 1 round between the 2 squads. And that's a very expensive round for Mousesports. Their money's in the danger zone now. So this is starting to get a little hairy. They definitely don't want us to go to a 3rd map of train.
If they had the bomb down, they could have actually had a really decent 4-buy, but the extra $800 per player that's missing is really causing problems there. We see the Galil, the Eagle for ACOR so that he can have nades, Mac 10. It's just not a great look. Furia really have Mousesports against the ropes right now. Oh, a lot of CT utility dumped early in the rounds. So Mousesports have a utility advantage now, but these forward positions in apps, this is really where how deep you're going to go, Yuri. This could be a problem. Oh, that's so rough to deal with.
Again, with so many people there, someone can stand on the barrel so his hop up is a little easier in case someone is there. He's holding for it. They both know their angles very well.
Too, in apps to help you with the trade.
Yeah.
So if there was a smoke there, for example, you'd wait for ropz there and make the jump when the smoke fades. They've been really good with this with Mousesports in finding the gaps of the rotates. Again, Kerrigan being very sneaky here. We'll see if timing is on his side. Oh, makes the right call again. Is this really real life?
He must have scoped.
Oh my god.
No, oh, okay, here we go.
Oh! It just starts moving. So awkward when that happens. Now Vinny is pinched. You can't leave Art alive and head towards B to kill the B guy. If you see Art, you have to kill Art. That's a must do. 3-on-3 as Furia charge towards the B bomb site before that bomb gets planted. All coming from Banana, where ACOR awaits them with an AK-47.
Oh, he's got the multi too. He wanted that for the after pump, but they're all coming from this position. And he's going to get taken out for a 2v2. So that's the molly gone. That's a big loss there. I think they were expecting the rotation to come from CT, actually. By the way, it looks like Furia will give this one up. They don't really have the time. even though they do have the kit. Wow, what an insane maneuver from Carrigan. That's such an insane play.
That's what I'm talking about. Just the whole thing with the timing from Kerrigan. Because we see there, I mean, the timing is just fantastic, right? Not only once, but it's twice. He kind of misses the arch guy as well, obviously with the rotate coming in from the bomb side, and he walks into CT spawn. Then times as well on arch. Arch is just rotating back to hold the angle and wraps around him. Fantastic round here from Kerrigan. And obviously, again, here we see Vinny stuck, and they're already aware of that. 13-11 now.
If anything, if Carrigan's contract is up, he's definitely earning a higher salary right now. With all these plays he's making, absolutely outrageous. Showing his mental depth for the game. And again, with regards to the score, it's partly why Furia were maybe a little more conservative in that round. Flashbangs again, they've been fruitful for both teams. Once more they are for Furia. Yuri wondering if he should... doesn't have the best angle if he's expected to come out of boiler. How on earth do you regain control with another flashbang is how. Very active are Furia towards this A bomb site. You can see up with the Mag 7 in apartments. Maybe wanting a little more.
Good timing there as well on Furia. Smoke's about to fade over at B, and we kind of see at least, might not be an execute onto B, but Mousesports definitely want to at least cause some rotates here. One-way smoke or a little bit of a blocked smoke so they can peek into CT. We see here as well, look at minimap, right? It's just, yeah, BMOS is getting the rotate as well. This is literally just a fake from Mousesports, putting two guys on the B bomb site, carrying and running in spawn again and finding an opening. This time around though, yeah, I was going to say they do have the bomb rotate over. Haven't spotted Yuri. Oh man, I say that, but now it kind of forces even ropz, I was going to say, to maybe potentially rotate back, but they're still opting to go into this B bomb site.
All they have to do is kill Vinny. That's all they have to do. Oh, he's gonna have a great timing on this. Oh, that's devastating. So much damage to ropz. Vinny with a crazy quad kill. Starting off with a 5-7 for 2, finishing it off with the AK for another 2, and just finding the perfect timings. And Furia needed, they needed some big individual performances to come through. We're starting to see them. Vinny's been having some really awesome moments. Yuri as well. Art's, delivering in the moments when he needs to, and this is a hell of a close game, and the money's been just terrible now again for Mousesports.
Yeah, for both of these teams, you'd argue here, even with Mousesports buying here, I mean, this is really talk about important rounds. This is a very important round for both of these teams. This has the potential of going overtimes, even a 16-14 potential. But yeah, the buy from Mousesports, you'd argue here, I mean, I think the call here is made from Kerrigan as well, knowing as well the Furia is obviously pretty low on money, so we want to try and reset their cash again and don't let him get back into this game, which is why we see a buy like this. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because obviously if you lose it, you make the argument of, why did we just save the one round and we get full weapons? But if you win it, you'll be classified as a genius.
Not happening just yet for Mousesports, although it's still possible. Seen plenty of unlikely rounds won in this game already. Well, there's an opening kill, and ropz will hold on to the Galil. Yuri, he can creep behind this molly, and he'll do exactly that for the pre-fire, and both remaining Mousesports players are in the red. They could get a bomb plant out of this, which would be a worst-case scenario ticked off. Frozen can make some space with the Molotov as well by a few precious seconds. Maybe they can do something with that. Two Furia players stuck in the apartments are still lurking around. Very much outnumbered our Mousesports, but they found a smoke grenade with which to smoke long. Vinny, though, threatening to peek through, and they'll both get eliminated. So they planted a bomb. They killed 2 players. They kept Furia's economy honest at the very least, but they are still in ego territory.
Yeah, and maybe you kind of at least wanted bomb plant and 3 guys dead there, but at least bonus here from Mousesports. Wasn't even looking likely that we get the bomb plant at that point, losing 2 members early here.
Yeah,
absolutely. Big bonus for getting the bomb.
It's crazy as well because it does go to, like you said, overtime or 16-14. I think that's precisely the only way this can go now. Mousesports, if they wow, they should be giving up this round and then it's that one buy. And depending on how much damage they can do this round, they could really create an awkward scenario for Furia, actually. And if they could facilitate, because at this point, getting kills is higher priority than getting another bomb plant, I would say. And so
I agree.
if they could find a way to get a couple kills, or 3 obviously is ideal, as you stated, it would really create problems for Furia to have all utility, and that's a great start. Oh my god. They couldn't even win this round now because the B-side is completely open. Vinny has to defend everything by himself, which is exactly what he's able to do here. Oh, Vinny's in unbelievable form right now.
Oh my god.
4 players by himself.
The hold, he dies there and it's game over, I feel like. You know, there's just no road. Yeah, I was going to say, you know, Gary, come on, hug the man. He needs it, he deserves it. What a performance here for him on this CT side so far. It's not just this round he saves. Obviously, we know that he had that 5-7 round as well and locking on the B bomb side. Another quad kill for him to his name on that round. Really what Furia needed here.
Even if 1 or 2 of them get away into the site, like there's still like a winnable round for Mousesports, but he kills all 4 by himself. Doesn't make any sense. That is insane. Vinny has, and let's not forget that other recently very impactful 4K that he got. He just got 2 enormous quad kills within the space of like a few rounds.
I can't believe he stays alive, like strafing to the left there. That should be murder. First degree. And obviously, the one shot onto Frozen. It doesn't matter if you have low HP or not, if you're just going to be strafing the wall and getting insta-kill.
Oh, how things have turned around for Furia. This is their pick after all, and they've shown that they can do it the long way if needed. Or at least threaten to. They've taken the lead, but not in this round, as Vinny is dropped through the smoke by Carrigan, who just is Bobby Big Brain in this game of Inferno as far as Mousesports is concerned. Had a lot of explosive frags from Acor earlier on, but Carrigan's plays have been outrageous. A lot of shit being thrown towards top mid by Mousesports as they make a play through the smoke. Numbers game forcing Furia back. Perfectly timed with the smokes in the arch and the library. Yuri left now, exposed on the balcony. He'll be traded, but you can see Furia doing what they can, swinging through the smoke, but Acor is ready. Sound cut, and Art is wondering how unsafe it is to make this play. Oh my god, he delivers the kill regardless. Acor made it as hard as possible, but still it wasn't hard enough. Art now 1 versus 2. He sees the barrel of the gun there by double stack. Surely he did. Mousesports backing away. They've got to play for an insta trade. A smoke to create some space. See ropz crouching. Put himself a 1v1, fired a shot but missed. And the score's tied again.
Yeah,
it's such a hard ball to go for that, I gotta say, because of the way the money is. If he keeps the AWP alive, it feels like they have a better chance. I don't know. That seems super marginal.
Yeah, it's like absolutely right. It's just like, hindsight's always 20/20, right? I really like that call from Mousesports. We saw as well their buy was they had AK sure they didn't have full sets of nades, so I was expecting a little bit bit of a faster round, and I just love the fact that they don't stop going into archway there. That's why Yuri kind of gets caught in apps. He gets the first one, but Mousesports just so quick on this execute. And a nice little hold from Acor there as well on Arch, getting the 2 kills. We see him here. Really what separated Mousesports that round and ensuring the round win. But yeah, that's a lot of money to have to rebuy in an AWP instead of saving it. We see the money on Furia as well, noted. This definitely had the potential of going all 30 rounds, and we are guaranteed that now as well.
Still 3 towards B, but maybe that'll have to change soon. Oh, we've got deletions on the A bomb site. This round is surely over. I don't think they can afford to do much more, but
yeah,
I would expect they may try and retrieve the AWP.
Same again. Look at the difference. And Dan pointed out as well, just having the guy in boiler kills Art there, because you get the first trade. Obviously, the expectation is that you're putting 3 guys in over towards the B bomb side. So sure, you're expecting people to come up from mid. But ropz, even though he doesn't kill, he obviously does get the kill, but just showing himself there kind of prevents Furia from having that aggressive position, putting Art in a very tough spot. Yeah, you want to go for... We know that Mousesports obviously, again, don't have a lot of money in their name, but they should know that Furia is really broke as well. So make the argument here that maybe you chase, even though your money is not great. You prefer a Mac 10 on one of your own teammates in a round like this than a M4 in the hands of a CT when you know that could have been better. He shouldn't be... Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way he's going to be surviving here. This is a great round for Mousesports. Really worst case here as well for Furia. Look at the money here coming into the last round of the potential series. We have to note that Mousesports is 1-0 up in maps. Won their map pick on Nuke. Any gamblers here? What do we think? Last round?
I don't know, man. I've seen pistols do a lot in this game so far. So I make no assumptions. I'll leave it there. Oh god, we've just got them all getting deleted. This could be a very fast round indeed. Oh my god. I think Mousesports will win, Robin.
All right, you're allowed to pull one James or one Dan, James. That's all I'm giving you, though.
Makes his prediction at this point as the best of 3.
That's so heartbreaking as well from Furia, obviously not having a lot of money. We know as well that Mousesports hasn't been peaking mid the way that they did that round. So trying to do something in a fast play onto down in mid. Let's not say anything yet, though. I mean, Vinny is, as I say that, yeah, cast a curse. Vinny has had 4 quad kills in this series. That was pretty much a mission impossible, but never say never. It's a good series here from